better hide your kids, you better hide your wife, cause there's a big ass spider on the loose. If I see the spider, I'm gonna cook his ass.
This town has no idea what's coming. God help us all. We ain't gonna kill some spiders. We're gonna kill some spiders dead.
I guess just start out by telling everybody who you are.
Uh-huh. All right.
Okay.
All right. I am Mike Mendez, director of Big Ass Spider, as well as many other horror B films that you've probably never heard of.
That's great. So, have you always wanted to be a director, or is this just something that kind of fell in your lap, or?
No, I mean, I've wanted to. I love movies and I've loved cinema my entire life. I've been making movies like in my backyard and with my friends since I was a little kid. So like since 10 years old.
Yeah.
And then that, went through high school and through college. And then, I made my first feature when I was like 22. And,
Wow.
now I'm 40 and still at it and nothing much has changed. So, so
No,
still
actually,
slugging away.
it seems like a lot has changed because I've heard about your film. I actually saw it at a film festival. And
Right on.
also, Fangoria ran a huge, issue about your movie, and Monster Pictures is gonna pick it up and distribute it in Australia. So that's
Yay, Monster Pictures.
Yeah.
We love Monster Pictures. Yay.
yeah. So that all of that is just fantastic. You should be really proud.
Oh, thank you. Yes. No, it's had a wonderful life of its own. It's really great. And for a movie that, not a lot of people had any expectation for and just sort of assume it's a piece of crap right out of the gate, we've been really blessed to have a really great life. So far so good.
Yeah, and it's almost more of a, I would say, kind of like a tribute to those B movies that are almost like so. Yours isn't bad, but some of those are so bad that they're good. Type of fun, more fun, I guess, rather than super serious.
It's a very fine line, and it's been a weird thing as a filmmaker because I don't think any filmmaker ever sets out to make a so bad it's good
Yeah.
movie. But because it's about a giant spider and because we live in the era of asylum films and piranhacondas and sharktopuses and things of that nature,
Yeah.
we're kind of, that kind of subgenre has kind of been labeled so bad it's good. But, none of us approached it that way.
Right.
We approached it as like, hey, this is an opportunity. People are going to shit on this movie and look down on it, but if we take it seriously, if we really give it our all, if we really make a serious attempt to be funny and not, have audiences laugh with us and not at us,
Right.
Hopefully we can make something special. So I think, I'd like to hope that's what happens. So
It is. I thought it was funny, honestly, and the fact that what really caught my attention, I might not have noticed it, but the Big Ass Spider title,
Sure.
honestly,
Yeah, of
it
course.
really grabbed me. Is that what you thought the title would be initially, or was that sort of a?
Well, it came to us. It came to us it came to me as a project called Dino Spider originally.
Oh, okay.
And then shooting was Mega Spider, but just the tone of the movie that I wanted to do, which was kind of more in line with like Tremors or even Big Trouble in Little China to a certain degree, or I'm trying to think what else, Deep Rising, and and I always love Evil Dead too.
Yeah.
It felt like the correct title of the movie was Big Ass Spider. Like that just seemed like the irreverent, we're having fun, please join us on this fun.
Exactly.
Kind of attitude. And it was a fight. It was a huge thing because Epic Pictures, who made the movie, is a foreign sales company primarily, and all their buyers were like, "Well, what is a big ass?"
Are they going to translate it in French?
Right, it doesn't quite translate, but thankfully it seems like people caught on. They have the option. In some countries it's called Mega Spider, but in a lot of countries that don't even speak English, like Germany, it's still Big Ass Spider,
That's
and
awesome.
that's awesome. So that's really great.
I love the title, and it sticks with you. It's something you won't forget for sure. And
Good.
like I said, it's what grabbed my attention at first. It kind of like harkens back to the days where they would. I don't know if I studied film and everything, so we would read about people like William Castle and everything who or even some of the 60s directors that did exploitation, they would start with the artwork or the name of a film without even a script, and they would try to sell it, and then they would try to make the movie afterward. They had the concept.
It's a tricky thing. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we live in a world with so many mega whatever and so many things that you know, you really have to kind of try to at least attempt to stand out in some way. And, you know, and hopefully, I don't know if this completely worked. I don't think it did quite work. You know, and you know, I was trying to say this is not, you know, your typical Sci-Fi Channel of the week type movie, but it doesn't matter. People still think it is, you know, or go in with that expectation no matter what.
You know, people will do that. They'll do that all the time. They will say the worst things about Sci-Fi Channel, but they all tune in and watch it all the time. Even me. Absolutely. And like my dad does it all the time. He'll call me and he's like, yeah, I know usually Sci-Fi Channel movies are crap. Not yours, of course, but yeah, so I just think it's funny. I actually saw, and this is another thing I was going to tell you earlier, but I forgot. I actually saw one of your co-stars, I think, on the Dr. Drew show. For HLN.
That was probably Greg Grunberg.
Yeah, it was, and he was actually taught. I don't know what they were talking about. It was like something serious, some topic about addiction or something on HLN, Dr. Drew. But he just kept talking about, you know, big ass spider, and then he created some app or something, and he was sort of talking about Yowza, and then he was talking about that too. But I just thought, hey, that's pretty cool because I watch the Dr. Drew show all the time. That's like my.
Oh, that's awesome.
I watch Dr. Drew and Nancy Grace. Those are my two. What do you call it? Okay.
I grew up with Dr. Drew here in Los Angeles. You know, and the fine folks in Australia are probably very lost. Or I don't know. Maybe
that's true.
Dr. Drew is.
We can always.
Dr. Drew is, you know, the founder of a program here we have in America, but it's starting in Los Angeles called Loveline.
Yeah, I remember that on MTV.
Right, exactly. And he's the addiction specialist. He's, you know, whenever someone ODs, I'm sure this week it's all about Philip Seymour Hoffman. You know, he's the voice of reason, and so it gives me a quite a joy. You know, and I've grown up hearing his voice, you know, since I was about 12. Mm-hmm. So I get a certain giggle inside whenever I hear him say the title "Big Ass Spider."
Hey, it's just awesome that's how far your project has gone. I think that's really cool. That's the reason I brought it up.
Very cool. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so gosh, like what was your favorite part about making the film? Was there anything that really stood out to you that just sort of?
We had a great time making it. I mean, you know, it was certainly a labor of love. Even though the actual shoot was only like 17 days.
Oh, wow.
You know, yeah, no, I know, but I'm kind of used to making these kind of low budget short schedule
films.
You know, but the thing is that you know, we all really kind of bonded together, and we all really put our best foot forward, and so that was just the work environment was great. I honestly, you know, it was hard. I mean, as any making any movie, I mean, it's difficult and the hours are tough, but we had a great time and we had a lot of fun making it. You know, and it really kind of reinvigorated my joy of filmmaking because you know when I was a kid, I loved making movies. You know, with my friends and stuff. Yeah. And then the more kind of professional it gets a little more stuffy. It gets a little more ego driven, and there's lots of BS. And this was kind of going back to let me just make a movie with my friends. You know, and so we did, and you know, we had a blast. It was really great.
That's good. I love hearing that. Yeah, I know what you mean, because as an actress, I loved acting, just the process of it, I guess. And then you get on set and you sort of lose that sometimes after doing it for a few years and maybe not seeing the outcomes that you had expected or hoped for as a teenager, at least me. And so I can relate to that totally, and the hours are long, but it really is worth it in the end. Did you film in LA or did you film?
Yeah, I'm a Los Angeles native, and so that was another joy. You know, they say filming in Los Angeles is very difficult because of the unions, and it just gets very expensive. But if you make a movie cheap enough, as we did, everyone will leave you alone because they know you don't have any money, and we didn't. So you know, so it was great to just really make a bit of in some odd way, a bit of a love letter to my city of birth, and make a real Los Angeles film. So that was nice.
I've lived in Los Angeles. I lived there for about 7 years, And I know that you kind of have to get a permit almost to do everything. Did you have to do that, or did you kind of do guerrilla style, sneaking around? And
we were supposed to get a permit,
Yeah.
and we did a lot of the times. I just, having grown up kind of as a guerrilla filmmaker, just took a certain delight.
Yeah.
Whenever, much to the chagrin of the producers, whenever I could just jump into a car, and like all our driving scenes, we literally just put a camera mount on the car and just drove, which is highly illegal.
Right.
And,
They're probably so used to it there. They're just like,
well,
we
you're
have
supposed
bigger
to
things to
have
do.
a police escort.
Oh,
You're supposed to
yeah.
supposed to do things by the book, and we didn't, and but that was exhilarating to me. I
Right.
love that. So so I actually had a good time with that, but not the way you're supposed to do it, but it was a little balanced. There were times that we absolutely were permitted to be there, and we had cops and security, but we tried to minimize that as much as possible and make it as down and dirty as we could.
Cool. I love guerrilla style filmmaking, and I love the combination of humor and horror. It's just one of my favorite things, and one of my favorite things is watching sometimes, as again, like I said, not your film, but sometimes I love going back and watching those 70s and 80s films that are just like, so wow, they're so bad that they're good, and those are some of my favorite films ever. I just get such a kick watching those. So I hope that everybody else has as much fun watching Big Ass Spider as I did. Okay, so do you have any projects coming up that you want to mention, or do you have any websites or anything that people can come take a look and find out more about you?
I'm always trying to do something. My next movie, supposedly we'll see, is a movie called Don't Kill It, which is kind of in the vein of the movie The Hidden. It's kind of like a demon that hops from body to body.
Nice.
And will jump into the body of the person who killed it last. And so it's much blood will be spilt and many bodies will pile up.
Very cool.
So that's looking like it's the next film, but we'll see. It's independent film. I don't really believe until I'm on set.
Exactly.
And then you can always follow me on @MadmanMendez on Twitter. I'd say go to MikeMendez.com if you want more, but I'm kind of overhauling that right now. So I have a YouTube channel as well. I have a Mike Mendez YouTube channel if you want to look at trailers or clips and behind the scenes footage of all my movies. So
all right, we'll put all those links up, and everybody will have a chance to come in and take a look.
that would be awesome.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing your time and telling us all about Big Ass Spider, which is going to be released through Monster Pictures on DVD. I'm sure everybody can't wait, and those who haven't seen it yet are going to get a real treat. And thank you again for joining us and telling us all about your movie.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Great to meet you virtually over Skype.
Yeah.
that was cool. So, all right. I will catch you around. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.